what's up guys, and so I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 last night, and with this film we follow the Guardians for one last time on their one last mission, and with this film I thought this was an amazing film. I thought it was really emotionally heavy, and this was filled with heartbreaking moments, and it was definitely epic, of course, and with James Gunn, he really crafted this thing perfectly, and with these characters, and they all got a chance to shine, especially for and over to our film, and with the entire aspect, it does be well a fast pace, and so much more as well. And so in this video, it's going to be my full official review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, spoiler free. So going over my impressions, but my honest thoughts and opinions for what I thought about the film, and just give you guys my thoughts, and especially with the future of the Guardians and what we expect for the future of the MCU as well. And so if you're new to the channel and you do something like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so don't miss out on future videos like this. And so let's get into it. And now, going in this film, and ever since it was announced that Guardians Volume 3 is going to be the last film in the trilogy, especially with James Gunn, who's now at DC, and this is James Gunn's last movie with the Marvel, and I thought he really concluded this trilogy perfectly, especially with these characters. These are solo characters, both had their chance to shine, especially with Rocket, who's been like a side character with these Guardians, but they really had his origin story told, and like a big way, and this film, and it really had the spotlight, especially on Rocket, and even with the rest of the Guardians as well, especially as we know them since the early days from the Infinity Saga. And with this film, we follow the Guardians that are trying to save Rocket's life from the High Evolutionary, and I thought that this was very well done, and I thought that this was an awesome MCU film, and I thought like with the pacing of this film, and it was filled with like such emotional moments, with such a heartbreaking scenes. I mean, like from the moment the movie starts, it just goes by very quick, and even with James Gunn, like who said that this movie we said no time, there's no fluff, and he is right. I mean, there's definitely no time to waste, and there was no fluff, especially for a 2.5-hour runtime, and I think it was incredibly a fast pace, and this was definitely like a mature, dark, and emotional film to me, and I thought like this was a perfect MCU film, especially to enjoy on the big screen. And now let's talk about the characters in this film, and that's starting with the Rocket Raccoon. I mean, like with this origin story, it was really told out perfectly. I thought it was really emotional, and I might have shed a tear. There was an entire origin story, and with the way that he grew up, and how he ended up with the Guardians, it was definitely told out perfectly, and especially with Rocket's friends from his childhood, and even with Lila played by Linda Cardinelli. I thought she was amazing as a voice of Lila as well, and even with the way that it was told, it was definitely amazing, especially with the Rocket that he was created by the High Evolutionary, who is the main villain of this film, and in his origin story, it was just told perfectly in a really emotional way. And now, especially with Peter and Gamora, and with their relationship and how it is handled in this film, I thought it was handled pretty well. And this is the Gamora from the past, and with the Peter trying to convince Gamora that she loves her and stuff like that, and tried to convince Gamora about who she is, and I thought it was handled very well, and I think that they deeply explored very well in this film, and as I love that Peter and Gamora's relationship, especially from Guardians 1. And now with Adam Warlock, and when it was announced that he was going to be played by Will Poulter, and everyone known him from We're the Millers, but I think Will Poulter definitely crushed it as Adam Warlock, and even though like he is described as the anti-hero, but he did some really heroic stuff, mainly towards the end of the film, but I won't get into much, but he does some really heroic stuff, and I just really enjoyed him, and from the way that Adam Warlock speaks, it's definitely cool to enjoy, especially with his presence in the film. And next, I want to talk about the High Evolutionary, and I just love him as the main villain. I thought he was truly terrifying, and he was involved with the Rocket's origin story. And I mean, he created a Rocket Raccoon, and like with the way that like this was presented in the film, it was very well done. It was definitely heartbreaking, and it was really emotional with the story on how the High Evolutionary created a Rocket Raccoon, and the way that they go in deep into his villainy. It was definitely a truly like amazing to witness about the High Evolutionary becoming the villain and going into his villainy. And now, even with the action and the pacing, I thought it really went by quick. I mean, this movie we wasted no time, because this is the third and final film in the Guardians trilogy, and they wasted no time with these characters. Even though this is like a 2.5 hour film, each solo character got their chance of the shine in their own way, especially with Drax and Mantis. And I just really love these characters as we've been with them from the early days of the Infinity Saga, and they wasted no time, especially as I love the Drax and Mantis' relationship as friends in this film. Like it was definitely truly amazing as I love them, and the holiday special as well, and like they really go in deep, and especially as they deeply explore the characters and the relationship of these people extremely well, especially with Drax and Mantis, and even with everyone else as well. And next with Groot, I mean, I really enjoyed him. He was such a fun character in this film, and with the way that he's presented, and the way that he helps out with other Guardians, and just went out so well. And I definitely love well the action that he is in, and there's a lot of cool parts and a lot of cool action scenes that Groot is in, and I just love this character even more, and even with all the cameos. I mean, like there was some cameos as I think James Gunn teased, and that there were like some cameos, and I think it's a really cool. It's because we all go into MCU products expanding cameos and bunch of Easter eggs and all this like connectivity to the MCU. I mean like there's like some cameos, but like not a lot, because I think like with MCU products we enjoy cameos, but it's not that much fun. But like it was definitely cool to witness some cameos. And with just the overall experience of witnessing the scene in the theater. I mean, this is the film to definitely witness on the big screen, especially as I saw this in IMAX. And there's some really cool action sequences, and just everything about the film in general. It was a beautifully shot, especially in IMAX format, and just with everything about it, it just worked out so well. It was definitely cool to witness. And then the last thing I want to talk about is of course Sean Gunn as Kraglin, and I just love his performance. He was definitely funny. He definitely delivered the comedy, and I just love his presence and everything about his character. It truly stands out well, and everything towards the third act of the film, it definitely it was represented perfectly. The way that he was truly heroic, and on top of that, with the Cosmo, the space dog, and like he was a really cute, and I definitely enjoyed him in the film. And like I said, even towards the third act of this film, and there's some truly epic moments, and especially as like some parts made me cry, or like some parts that made me truly emotional. But the third act of this film, it was definitely amazing, and it definitely paid off. And overall, in conclusion, I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I thought that this was the best MCU film in Phase 5, and even though with the last film, Quantum Mania, that was sort of like a letdown, but I think that this one was truly better, especially to witness on the big screen. I mean, James Gunn created something really special, and I can't wait to see him over at DC for what he does next. And with this film being his last movie, with Marvel, and I just really can't wait to see where James Gunn goes next. And plus, that there are two post-credit scenes, and they don't tease like anything big. It's just the future of the Guardians. It'll definitely make a question of what's next. And even with the Rockets or the story, it definitely pays off, especially in the third act. But I mean, I won't get into that, but I'll definitely talk about next week where we go dive deep in the spoilers. And on top of that, I thought this was the perfect conclusion to the Guardians trilogy. Like this is the group of characters who we known since the Infinity Saga, but it definitely misses current Guardians team, and I think that there's like a new team on the way as well. And that's all I can say. But again, I really truly enjoy this film. So all you MCU fans out there, go and grab your 2 tickets if you're planning to see this on opening day or opening week or whatever you're able to see it. I mean, let us talk about it when the film comes out and all that stuff as well. And so that is gonna be for this video. Let me know you guys thoughts in the comments down below. And are you excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Have you got your tickets yet? Let me know in the comments down below. Get this video a like and subscribe to turn on notification for future videos. And for live updates always follow me on Twitter. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.